WSAB News 3 today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Ben Katko. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 today. We start this morning with a developing story out of Savannah. A sergeant and a suspect are in the hospital this morning following a shooting at a home on Marion Circle. That is in the Nottingham Woods community. According to police, officers were there serving a warrant. News 3's Courtney Cole has been on the scene all morning. She's live right now with the very latest. Good morning, Courtney.
Good morning, Kim and Ben. That's right. Police and U.S. Marshals came. I'm going to step out of the frame. They came to this home further down in the 100 block of Marion Circle to serve a warrant around 6:15. But Ben and Kim, things escalated quickly when the suspect fired at officers. Here's a look at video from the scene from earlier today. After the suspect fired at officers, officers fired back, and a sergeant and the suspect were caught in the crossfire. The sergeant was shot multiple times, and right now he's at Memorial Health and he's expected to be okay. The suspect was critically injured, and we don't know about the condition of the suspect at this time. Many people here in the neighborhood distraught at the idea of a shooting happening here.
At first I was thinking maybe a house was on fire or something, and so I kind of was like, oh, I hope whoever's all right, not knowing that it was something, involving a criminal. And
now we will continue to work with Metro Police throughout the day. They tell us that there is supposed to be a press conference held just around noon, and they're also supposed to be releasing more information as the day goes on. We're also being told by Chief Revenue that the GBI is now taking over this investigation. So we will continue to bring you the latest, both on air, starting with First News at 5, online on WSAB.com, as well as on the WSAB Facebook page. Reporting live in Savannah, Courtney Cole, WSAB News 3.
Thank you, Courtney. Police are confirming the suspect in this shooting is the suspect in the Hudson Street shooting death of 24-year-old Bilal Whitfield last weekend.
In a crime and safety report this morning, some local lawmakers are concerned about heavy crime near a local college campus. Council members are recommending Overtime Bar and Grill on Skidaway Road in Savannah have its liquor license suspended or even revoked. Metro Police say over the past 2 years, there have been more than 15 violence-related 911 calls to the business. Although there is often a police presence there, some say it still doesn't help. Most recently, officers responded to a call of shots fired. That was on New Year's Day. That's when one man was shot and another showed up at a hospital on his own. That incident is still under investigation.
At the moment, there was not anything anyone could have done. I feel like the city is doing what they have to do, given that the incidents that have occurred here. But on the other side, I want to say that the incidents that have happened here, it could happen anywhere.
There are some council members who say no matter how many there are, it is too many. They are planning a hearing next month to allow the bar owners to respond.
The Overtime Lounge will be given every opportunity to defend themselves against the charges that are brought to council.
A bar employee says their defense will focus on their compassion for customers. News 3 also spoke with nearby business owners who say during overtime's hours, they're typically closed and don't see any of the violence, nor does it impact their business. Alderman Hall says that hearing is February 15th.
A runner in Georgia is safe this morning after he went missing on a wooded trail over the weekend. Officials in Canton say they received a 911 call from 41-year-old Brendan Dowling on Sunday. Dowling told police he was lost on Rampley Trail and that his cell phone was dying.
Officers responded to the park. We were able to locate his vehicle, so we knew kind of at least where he entered the trail.
After 10 hours, Dowling was found in the woodline. Police are now investigating how the runner got lost in the first place. His family says he did not seem depressed or show any signs that he was in danger.
My word, if you've been outside, you would think it's springtime out there today.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Okay, well, first off, let me tell you, I started with curls, stepped out the door, came back in. Now I have swirls thanks to Ariella Scalise. She is here with what you need to know about today's weather. It's turning into a bad hair day.
We need to bring the hair cats back. Mine now started curly and is going frizzy and flat. So
yeah,
totally
swirly.
Swirly.
Yes.
That's
I just can't relate today. I'm really sorry.
Still looking flawless over there, Ben Katko. All right, we're taking a look outside Port Wentworth Highway 25. You can see some of the clouds are starting to break up. We will have sunshine return as we head into the afternoon. Probably hard to believe because it started a little bit gloomy out there. but temperatures have been warm. 69 at noon, 70 at 1 o'clock, and low to mid 70s as we go throughout the afternoon. That sun will break out. It will become nice, but it will be a little bit breezy as that cooler air is coming in. Taking a look at some other temperatures throughout the area right now, heating up very quickly. 70 degrees in Statesboro and Rincon, 71 Richmond Hill and Hinesville. Beaufort, you're currently sitting at 69, and Hilton Head, our cooler spot, but still relatively warm, 66 degrees right now. As we zoom out, though, you see the colder air that is behind us. You can see where that front still is hanging out. It's 48 degrees in Atlanta, so that cooler air is going to move to us as we head later on into tonight. There's a look at the radar right now. We're going to start to clear out as we go through the rest of the afternoon, and it will feel very much like spring out there.
All right.
It'll be enjoyable.
You have swirls. I have swirls. Ben's here. Flawless.
Yeah,
it
really is.
My brother would say it's a killer flow today.
Killer flow.
That's what he would call it. He would call it a killer flow.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ari. Well, we are taking a live look now from our Dozier log cam at General McIntosh Boulevard. This morning, the city reopened all lanes of the thoroughfare and activated all of the new traffic signals. The city closed the roadway in 2015 in order to raise the elevation between 5 and 8 feet, as well as President Street to alleviate flooding. The city is also installing new traffic signals at Randolph and President Streets and reconfiguring the intersections to help traffic flow. The city says the reopening of General McIntosh Boulevard will not only improve the traffic flow, but will be great for future development in the area as well.
In politics today, senators voted 81-18 to end the government shutdown, though it is not a permanent solution. The deal funds the government through February 8th. Giving lawmakers only a few weeks now to come up with a long-term solution. Republicans say the vote yesterday clears the way for bipartisan talks to continue on DACA, the budget, and other priorities. Despite that compromise, finger-pointing continues, with Democrats and Republicans both blaming each other for the shutdown. Both sides of the aisle now have to deal with the backlash, especially after it caused a huge change for some military families, including those here in our area.
Military families go through a lot of change, from moving every few years to switching schools. It all comes with the nature of the job. But the federal government shutting down, well, that's a change that's hard to prepare for. Of the roughly 4,500 civilian employees stationed at Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield, a majority of them were furloughed. 20,000 soldiers stationed on both bases, along with a handful of staff deemed necessary, including Captain Danielle Covington, are still reporting for duty and accruing pay, but wouldn't be paid until that bill was passed.
You do more with less, and this is what we have to pull up our big boy pants, and we're just doing a little bit more with a little bit less, and hopefully they'll be coming back. Our counterparts, our furloughed counterparts, will be coming back on board.
Now that President Trump signed the bill to officially reopen the federal government, lawmakers have 3 weeks to come up with an agreement on immigration and funding for the president's wall. If they don't come up with a permanent plan, it will be back to square one and another shutdown.
A public service commissioner tells News 3 that Georgia Power customers should see a benefit from the federal tax cut. Last week, the PSC ordered a $43 million refund because Georgia Power made more on investments than allowed. Now, Commissioner Tim Echols says ratepayers will also benefit from the millions of dollars that Georgia Power is set to save in federal taxes this year.
Ratepayers are going to be given that money in some form or fashion. We haven't decided yet. First, we've got to find out how much it is, and we've asked for that information. And then once we do, the commissioners will decide the best way to give it back.
Georgia Power has until February 20th to report back to the PSC on how much money will be saved in the federal tax.
The South Carolina Fire Academy and Fire Marshal's Office are both in the hot seat after a legislative audit. It shows inadequacies in several areas. The report highlights issues with what the fire marshal can and cannot do when it comes to fire code violations and how the Fire Academy evaluates its instructors. The report also shows that the state does not require certification for local fire marshals, which could lead to issues with proper training of future firefighters. The Division of Fire and Life Safety issued a response to the report, pointing out key areas of improvement. Since the audit, the agency has hired 29 new part-time Fire Academy instructors and launched a new fire marshal certification exam prep class. Representative Gary Smith says another audit will take place to make sure the recommendations have been implemented.
The Chatham County Hospital Authority has passed 2 resolutions that will move the sale of Memorial Health over the final hurdle. The The $710 million deal will see memorials sold to a for-profit company, that is Hospital Corporation of America, which will acquire memorials assets. In return, HCA has promised to continue with important safety net and trauma services. A trust fund to pay for trauma patient expenses is being set up as part of the sale. The hospital authority will be in charge of that fund.
In a News 3 health alert this morning, 7 people across South Carolina have died due to the flu. One of those deaths happened in the Low Country. So far this year, 74 patients have checked themselves into Hilton Head Hospital. That's more than double the number from last year. Doctors say they're seeing more and more serious symptoms than usual. They say this year's flu vaccine is only 40% effective, which has made many people hesitant about getting it. But experts say it does help lessen any symptoms. Hilton Head Hospital has not restricted their emergency room, but has told people who come to the ER to leave their families at home, especially children under the age of 12. They're easily infected, or if they're sick, pass on the virus very easily.
Happening today, parents, you can get free help signing your children up for health care. There is in-person enrollment and renewal assistance for Medicaid and other public benefits. That is this afternoon from 4 to 7 at the Hinesville Library at 236 West Memorial Drive. If you do plan on coming, you should bring a government ID and all necessary documentation like your proof of income and Social Security numbers for your entire household.
Also happening today, there will be a District 5 Town Hall meeting at Haven Elementary School. That begins at 6 o'clock this evening. School Board Representative Irene Hines will be there to share academic updates and answer questions.
The Beaufort County School District is planning town hall meetings in each of the district's 5 clusters. Those are schools that feed into area high schools. The first meeting happens tonight at 6 at May River High School. Translation devices will be available for Spanish-speaking attendees.
You hear it all the time, multiple warnings about having working sprinklers installed in your home.
Well, after the break, see an example of why South Carolina is looking to adopt a new building code law. Stay with us. You're watching WSAV News 3 Today.